Welcome back to Chokitable Media. Compliment of the season to you. How you doing right now? Kenyan Airways is in a big trouble. They've been asked to pay $1 million to a Nigerian family over alleged botched Christmas trip. They canceled Christmas trip for the family who were billed to travel to the UK in London. But before I go into the details of these matters at hand, I would like to talk about the attitude that we have towards data in Nigeria and in Africa generally. What do I mean by data? I'm talking about your profile, your name, your date of birth, your place of birth, country of origin, your local government, and all the rest. The way we handle it, or the way the official handle all these type of matters, so many times and often times they are not correct. I don't know if it is a deliberate attempt to disturb the owner of these profiles. The attitude of the officials handling data and collecting data is so bad to the extent that sometimes you think it is deliberate for them to do this by removing part of your name, part of the numbers that you have, and all the rest, which eventually will come back to disturb the owner of the data at the end of the day. I am calling you to check your data. I am informing you to look out for yourself when you go to do registration in any office, either in Africa or in Europe or wherever you live. Because oftentimes in Europe, data collection is private and they will, at the end of the day, enter it correctly the way it's supposed to be entered. But I wonder where we come from, why data are being misused. And they lack concentration when they have to enter your data for you. And that is why I said, actually, I don't know if this is a deliberate attempt to disturb the owner of the data. For example, the name on that BVN number, do you think is correct? Because you will come to discover this by the time you want to use this BVN to open an account. I am passing through one like this, whereby my name was written incorrectly. And I have to go back again to the bank that make this for me to go and do correction. And I want you to know one thing. Ease of doing business in Nigeria, going to the banks or moving around in Nigeria is not easy at all. And the attitude of those people behind the desk when you even manage yourself to get down there sucks. You might get there quite all right, but when you get there, you may encounter lack of network. They will tell you there's no network. They might even tell you there's no electricity. They might even tell you they cannot even run this on generator. So definitely you have to come back another time. You know, all this attitude of our people really, makes me to come out to come and tell you to beware when you are doing, all this type of stuff with your, with any organization that you go to, be it ministry or be it banks or any government departments that you might, like to go and visit for your documentation. When you go to the immigration office, just be careful. Though over there right now, if your NIN is not correct, if there's any near miss or missed, information in your data that you provided for them, they will definitely send you back. If you go to the office, they will send you back to go and do the correction, and that is the way it is now. Your NIN, your BVN, your SIM card registration is also very important to look out for, so that at least you get your number correctly and your number is not given to another person. And the name they register, the name they register on your SIM card should be the correct name that you have on your NIN and your BVN. If not, there will be problem later on in the future. You might not know. You might get it correctly now and go away, but at the end of the day, something will just happen that you will need that thing and you'll be rejected, even at the point of need. Then beware of your CFO when you register your CFO, and beware of your survey plan. All these type of documents are very, very important for us to note. And that is why I am doing this broadcast, so that at least all of us will be, aware. And when we go to them to do the registration, we should look out very well for ourselves. So let's go into the details of the reason why Kenyan Airways has been charged to pay $1 million for the delay they caused, or cancellation they caused, for this particular family in Nigeria. So Kenyan Airways faces $1 million demand from Nigerian family over alleged botched Christmas trip. So a Nigerian family has urged Kenya Airways Limited to pay $1 million as general damages and compensation over an alleged botched Christmas trip involving their daughter, a minor. What actually happened was that they were traveling from Murtala Mohammed Airport. They got their paper cleared and they moved the travel down to Kenya, transiting in Kenya, and to move from Kenya down to London. But unfortunately, when they got to Kenya, the minor traveling with them, a member of the family, was stopped from traveling, so which eventually disturbed the traveling for the whole family. The Kenyan Airways at Kenya in Nairobi refused the minor, the daughter, from flying together with the family. So what are they going to do? Do you think they're going to leave the daughter, the minor, behind, and the father, the mother, and the rest of the family will have to travel? No, that is not possible. Despite the fact that their document has been cleared at Murtala Mohammed Airport, what they noted in Nairobi, in Kenya, was also noted over there in Nigeria at Murtala Mohammed Airport. But the correction has been made. But the Kenyan Airways refused to let them travel together with their daughter. So that's why, they are suing Kenya Airways for this error. So please just be aware and be informed that things like this could happen as well. So know your right when you get to the airport. When your flight is cancelled and the Airways is not ready to do anything, know that you have the right to sue them if there are changes and you are not aware before they change it, or your flight being cancelled. So definitely they have to pay compensation for you. So the minor, represented by a law firm called Creed and Brooks Partners law firm, addressed the airline in a letter dated December 21st, 2024. The firm accused the airline allegedly exposing the entire family of his client, Joseph Osikena, to unplanned expenditure and disruption of their family plan following the botched trip of their daughter, a minor. So these are the allegations. According to the letter addressed to the managing director of Kenya Airways Limited in Lagos and a copy to the airline Nairobi office, the family purchased and was issued return tickets for their trip by the airline through wakanow.com Limited on August 31st, 2024. The family intended to take a trip to celebrate Christmas and New Year together, visit friends and close relatives across United Kingdom, and explore tourist attractions and historical monuments before departing the UK for Nigeria on January 5th, 2025. The lawyer added that in line with the planned itinerary, the client and his family began their UK trip at Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos on December 16, 2024. He stated that the travel documents of his client and his family member, including the minor, Mrs. Gabriela, were duly checked by Kenyan Airways in Lagos, and they were issued with boarding passes for the flights to the Heathrow Airport, with a stopover in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi before proceeding to London Heathrow. However, he added that the airline allegedly refused to allow the minor to board its plane at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, citing clerical error. on their travel documents, which had already been processed and accepted in Lagos, Nigeria, by the airline. So apparently the passport numbers reference and as accompany the parents were inadvertently and incorrectly entered by 1 digit each by the name, but the name were correctly stated by the UK border agency. Given that our client's daughter, Miss Gabriela, is a minor, in order to attempt to abuse emotion and psychological stability, our client had to discontinue his journey while his wife, Mrs. Rita Nwakama, continued and completed a trip to London Heathrow with their other 2 children, Miss Brenda and Mr. Jordan. The letter reads in part, the lawyer continued that the airline should not have abandoned the family's daughters halfway, regardless of clerical error, as the family has been declared by the airlines at their Nigerian office. He added that the airline insisted his client and his daughter return to Nigeria. Then Ibebuike further claims that the airline advised his client and his daughter to pay over $4,000 before they could be returned to Lagos, Nigeria, describing the development as an alleged infamous and ill-conceived decision which exposed his client to unplanned expenditure and trauma in Nairobi, Kenya. Take note that owing to this and other associated reasons, our client has instructed us to demand that we hereby demand that you immediately continue and complete our client, Mrs. Gabriela, journey to London Heathrow, or return them to Lagos, Nigeria at no cost without any delay, and pay damages and reparation to him, his daughter, and the entire family in the sum of $1 million within 7 days of receipt of this letter. The letter demands. So the law firm or the airline to comply with the demand in the interest of justice. So this is the case. So, but this is what you should know. Flight cancellation allegations are common issues associated with airlines operation within and outside Nigeria, often leading to a number of court cases. So, for instance, a federal high court in Abuja has ordered Qatar Airlines to pay an ex-lawmaker, Honorable Chukwu Emeka Ujam, a refund of $3,000 and $4.8 million in exemplary damages and costs for cancelling its business class to the United States of America. So recently, regional bloc like ECOWAS has approved an increase rate of compensation for passengers whose flights are cancelled or delayed across member states. So the same thing right here also with the European Union. So definitely, if these airlines don't know their responsibility, they don't know their duty, and they don't handle their passenger very well, so lawsuits are bound to happen to them. So damages, they bound to pay a lot of damages to clients traveling with them. So just know your rights. If anything like this does happen to you, just know that you have to contact your lawyer if there's no peaceful settlement between you guys, because the treatment they meted out to this family in Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Kenya, is not right at all, since it was corrected and allowed from Nigeria. The official of Kenyan Airways in Nairobi should have allowed this family to travel together with their minor, their daughter. So taking precaution for them also is necessary. But at least if you have the 90% or 95% of the name very, very correct, and you see the data of the father, the mother, and the other 2 siblings, they should have allowed them to go to London the way they plan it, despite the fact that they should also know that the immigration has already cleared this data for them from the UK. I don't know what really happened, but if this family are on the wrong side, they wouldn't even be bold to come out and say they want to claim damages. So let us learn from this incident that happened to this family, so that we'll use this also to check ourselves for our future transactions. This is Chokitable Media. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put on your notification button, and you can comment in the comment section as well. Thank you for listening, and God bless you as you do all this for me. Bye for now.